Well, there's the green flag, and now we're waiting for the 5-second board, then the red light to turn on, and then the green to turn on, and we're away, and it's a very good start from Riccardo Patrese. And Riccardo Patrese and Michael Schumacher flooding into third behind Nigel Mansell, and that's a very good stop. But there, Ayrton Senna trying to go right the outside, 2-3 abreast here through that first corner, but it's Riccardo Patrese leading from Nigel Mansell.
And Ayrton Senna used all his Brazilian muscle to get past Michael Schumacher. He came down the outside of Schumacher. Schumacher a little bit cautious going into that first corner. I think the reason was Mansell was caught unawares. You can see Mansell pulled quickly over to the left, but in fact the red light came on and there was not the required 5 or so seconds between. Now look at Ayrton Senna coming up alongside Schumacher, and then just Schumacher squirreling a little bit, Senna squeezing him. Now Schumacher looking for ground or space, can't find it. Senna's there, not giving way. In the meantime, Patrese took the initiative and taken the lead. But here's the point of the race. I think it's going to be very interesting. Michael Schumacher, you can see him just behind Ayrton Senna. And Schumacher beginning to close up on Senna, but Michael Schumacher, I think, will find Ayrton Senna a very tough competitor to pass. Schumacher's car has been quicker down the straight than Senna's car, but that's not going to mean that he's going to get past Senna easily.
I don't think anyone will get past Ayrton Senna easily. At the moment in third place, 4.6 seconds behind Nigel Mansell, who's a second behind Riccardo Patrese. But if you look at the lap times, both the Williams are in the 121s, and Michael Schumacher is in the 122s, and all the rest is 123 or even slower.
Well, this is just in the settling down period of the race. All the tension of the start has evaporated. Now working to find consistency. What's he shaking his hand at? Is that to let Michael Schumacher pass? Jimmy Senna stuck his right hand up there for some reason, annoyed by something we can't see from the in-car camera.
Well, you can see the speed he's going at, and John, this is 6th gear. If we can stay with Senna, could you go through a lap? Because we haven't really had a full lap yet, have we?
No, we haven't. Senna now. Schumacher getting closer to him, and of course Schumacher's dragging along Jean Alesi and Martin Brundle, who's on Alesi's gearbox. So it's wrong to say that Senna's holding back the three pursuing cars, but now Schumacher right on the gearbox, and Alesi, Ayrton Senna struggling the car. The newness of the tires has evaporated. Schumacher needs to be very careful, because Alesi will snatch that 4th place off him before he has a chance to think about it. In that position, Schumacher's position, you must also be aware of what's going on behind you. Your concentration, of course, mostly focused in front of you. Look at Martin Brundle looking to take Alesi's 5th place, but well, it's going to be a little bit of an amusing scenario here, these 3rd through 5th place.
Well, we've got Mansell and Patrese way ahead of everybody else, and Ayrton Senna, but behind Senna is a train of Schumacher, Alesi, Brundle, and even Pierluigi Martini, who's not far behind. Back at Interlagos, where Riccardo Patrese just finishes 8th lap, and Michael Schumacher is passing Ayrton Senna. And I think Senna has a problem, John.
Well, Senna has a problem from the 2nd lap, really. And I just think that Senna's trying to take it back. Michael, shut that door. Don't let Senna have the opportunity. You've worked to get past the guy. What are you doing? You left the door wide open for him to drive straight through.
Well, because of this fight, the gap between Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese is over 16 seconds after 8 laps. Michael Schumacher we can see in 3rd, then Jean Alesi, then we see Martin Brundle, Pierluigi Martini, and Carl Wendlinger in 8th with the march.
Well, that's a problem. Senna's got a problem. I think he's having gear change problems, because he wouldn't suddenly de-accelerate like that. But he got us back into gear. And look at this, and let's watch it again. Schumacher, he's got Senna behind him. He wasn't using his mirrors. He should have just faded across to the left-hand side of the track and blocked Ayrton Senna. Well, I mean, Michael Schumacher is certainly the star, the young and up-and-coming star, but he'll have to learn a little bit quicker than that, because people like Ayrton Senna will take every advantage they can, and that's one of those little salutary lessons that you do learn from a world champion.
And another fastest race lap for Nigel Mansell, now down to a 1:20.604, and he's 6 tenths of a second behind teammate Riccardo Patrese, who's led this race from the start. He took the lead into that first corner, and he's held it ever since. But another 15 laps to, well, roughly 15 laps to go to the first tyre stops of the year.
And at the speed that Patrese and Mansell are lapping at, they will have lapped the entire field before the race is probably even three-quarters way through. Ayrton Senna managing to hold everybody up to the tune of something like 3.5 seconds a lap slower than the two Williams. Of course, the effect is that now from 14th place up to 3rd place, everybody's covered between car to car by 0.2, 0.5 of a second. A long train, all files behind Ayrton Senna. Michael Schumacher, again, not the part of the circuit you can pass on. And really all Schumacher ought to try to do is around this slow part of the circuit is get himself into position and hope that Senna has a problem or can get onto the pit straight with a little bit of momentum that will carry him up to, now look again, he's trying.
Oh, he's going through? No, he's not.
You see, you can't really get through there. The straight isn't long enough to enable the acceleration to take him up. And Senna, of course, so experienced and so good.
Oh, getting him a defensive driving lesson, I suppose, John.
Absolutely.
Well, John Alesi holding his own in the Ferrari with a 91 NIS spec engine in 5th place at the moment. Then Martin Brundle, who's in 6th, and there's all this big train. But I mean, no doubt that once Schumacher gets past Senna, he'll run away like him like there's no tomorrow.
Yes, of course, all the time. Look at Martin Brundle now having a look at John Alesi. Oh, Martin, oh, that was tight. Could have been left Ferrari and front, Benetton right front. But Martin looked at the end of that lap into the Curva de Senna like he was about to have a go at Alesi, and he confirmed that down the back straight, but not really enough. Alesi, of course, one of the last of the late breakers. Martin just could not get alongside him early enough under braking, had to concede. So Alesi still 5th, Martin Brundle still 6th, but I think Alesi is vulnerable now to Martin Brundle, and as much as Michael Schumacher earlier in the race you saw was vulnerable to John Alesi.
Well, Senna on the part of the circuit where Schumacher had a look a lap earlier. Patrese and Mansell already way past start-finish. But there comes Ayrton Senna. 2 left-handers to go, and then he's completed 12 laps out of 71.
Now look at Martin Brundle. He's getting into position to pass, or come up to pass John Alesi, up past the pit. Watch him pull out. Can he make it? No, he didn't, but he was close. And Alesi battling really to maintain 5th place. Martin Brundle becoming more and more aggressive. He tries to wrestle away 5th place from John Alesi to get onto the gearbox of his teammate Michael Schumacher, and really that's where he wants to be, because as soon as Schumacher does find a way past Ayrton Senna, then Martin wants to go through in that slipstream.
Well, 12 laps out of 71 have run. We just saw the top positions in vision, and Carl Wendlinger and Pierluigi Martini who follow after that. Top 6, Jerry Boutsen, De Cesaris, Capelli and Alboreto, and also Eric Koves in 13th. They're all part of the Senna train.
Well, we're expecting the first tyre stops somewhere between 25 and 30, but in fact I'm sure we're going to see some people coming in sooner, because in this situation you're abusing your tyres much more than if you're running clean. You're having to make compromises on braking, on your line in a corner. Of course, you're being disturbed by the aerodynamic effect of other cars ahead of you, and just generally you don't give the tyre the best kind of day that it would like. Look at that Schumacher now again coming up, and Senna in problem. Senna now slowing down. He's got John Alesi right behind him. Again, probably a gearbox problem.
Alesi in the car.
Yes, well, Schumacher and Alesi got past. I suspect it's either 4th or 5th gear that Senna's having a problem with. We saw Schumacher do overtake Senna 7 or 8 laps ago, but Senna recovered. But now the problem appears to be much more serious.
Não, abandono. É abandono da Ayrton Senna.
Back here at Interlagos, where Ayrton Senna is out of the 1992 Brazilian Grand Prix, and that is not where, well, 70,000 Brazilians come to watch for.